Hey folks, my name is Pravus, and welcome to more Hearts of Iron 4! We are playing as Brazil with the new DLC, except now we are known as the United States of South America. Leader of a brand new faction we formed at the very end of the last video called the Organization of American States. Yes, the USA is now my big buddy. He is not joining the Allies, which means I'm sorry Britain, you're probably screwed. Instead, we're going to be turning our attention to Japan, who just declared war on the Philippines, and I should be able to provide some assistance to the United States. If we get some troops down here pretty quick, maybe we can curtail their advance, do some of the island hopping we know we love so much, and start pushing the Japanese out of here. So let's go ahead and reorganize things like my navies, start pushing them over into some of the American islands down over this direction, for example, because we know we're going to have to do a lot of naval invasions. It's a good thing that I started researching the landing craft as early as I did. That's actually going to end up being very helpful. And I've listed a bunch of troops to go on some garrisoning orders in the Philippines and in US territories, so in a moment we should see them all recalculate and start pushing to the west. It takes a very long time to traverse this much ocean, though. By the time we even get to the Philippines, they might already have fallen. As far as some more national focuses, I'm not really sure what I want to do here. I mean, we bypassed some focuses now that we are allies with the US, which is okay, I guess. I kind of liked some of the benefits, but this will be fine. Bonuses for aircraft is not bad. We could also, it looks like, just get infantry equipment. And then subsidies for fighters and stuff, yeah. Those don't feel extremely important. I guess we could skip a lot of that. Could continue focusing on just getting my undiversified economy more or less figured out, go for some financial stimulation, or we could continue going down some military focuses here. Maybe go for an upgrade for heavy artillery, and that could end up being useful to me in some way. Maybe. I do need to work on getting our improved artillery, 1942 artillery, because this also gets me the improved medium cannon, which is something I'm going to want before I start investing heavily in tanks. So we're going to have to do that pretty soon. I don't mind getting ahead of time on that one. Is there any downside to joining the US right now? Probably not. Let's just go ahead and do it. I mean, we are technically still annexing Peru, or trying to encourage them to integrate. I don't know if the odds of them doing it go down if we're in a war together. That'd be unfortunate. I hope that's not the case. Let's make sure we start training some additional units, by the way, because you all know the United States is going to be taking over my faction pretty soon once they start ramping up, and while that happens, it's not a big deal. If it does, I'd really rather I stayed in control. That'd feel more fun to me. We can train up 3 whole new armies here without too much issue. I got the logistics for it, that's for sure. My economy is surprisingly strong. I mean, 240 factories by 1941 when we started as Brazil. We call that pretty good. Anyway, over here in some of these islands around the US, I think you can actually build an allied territory, right? Yeah, you can totally do that nowadays. They changed that at some point. Adding in a few of these airports in some American islands actually might give us a slight tactical advantage, or at least encourage the US to get in here and send some of their own planes. So let's go ahead and build a few of those up. So how quickly can we really get over here, I wonder? It's gonna be a while. Looks like the Americans should be on their way too, right? Oh yeah, okay. So literally all the Americas are unleashing their force, heading toward the Dutch East Indies and the Philippines. I really hope you guys are able to hold on for a bit longer. It's questionable though, they may not make it. And Peru does accept unification. Excellent, that's a whole nother chunk of territory for me. Need to get some more political power, by the way. As much as I want to annex more nations, it would be very nice to be able to move on to war economy. This is the first time I've gone into a really big war where that's been an option. So 100 more political power to go, and we can really unleash our power. So how do we want to specialize our guns? Stemming from our recent efforts to modernize the heavy gun production, our experts have come to a conclusion. We need to specialize if we want to be inefficient and blah, blah. Okay, do we want to modify artillery attack and defense? That's solid. Anti-air construction speed, no. Or anti-tank. Well, obviously we want to go for the artillery. That extra attack and defense is good for pretty much everything I have. I will never be unhappy with that decision. And now with the 50% boost, we can get the advanced artillery a little bit ahead of time, and that's going to give us a nice advantage. What are some other focuses we could work toward? Joint Operations Command would get me extra command power. That's not bad. Women in the aviation, recruitable population factor 10%? Wow. 10% just for women pilots? Apparently we're really sending women into the Air Force en masse. And then War Planning Office, 10% maximum planning and 15% planning speed is actually solid. Huh. We could also go down directions that give me bonuses in jungles, which includes the Philippines. That doesn't seem like a bad plan. Finland just declared war on the Soviets, and so do the Germans. Hold on, it's a continuation war. Okay, so, yeah, they're now going to be working with the Germans to try and take down the Soviets. Ooh, boy. And there's no US to join the Allies to beat up the Germans, at least until we choose to get involved in this war. So there's actually a chance the Germans are going to be able to win this. Uh-oh. Yeah, the faster we can take down Japan, the faster we can reorient the United States to get ready to fight against the Germans, and we can lead that charge. I've got no objection. You know something else we could do that might work? Instead of justifying on the Germans, we could justify on Vichy France to give me the option of getting into Africa quickly and open up this front, while then also being able to fight in Southeast Asia. And then once that's all secured, we also are able to have a soft underbelly into Europe to take on the Germans that way too. Things to consider, but one step at a time. We've got to take down Japan. This is going to be my least favorite part of the game, though. I hate island hopping. I really do. It has just never been fun. Fighting Japan is my least favorite part of Hearts of Iron. Easily, it's always been that way. Yet here we are. It's the first thing I'm going to do. By the way, I do want to say a very big thank you to you guys for the support you've shown in this series so far, especially for the support you've been giving to my wife for the editing work. I've seen a lot of positive comments on that one. And I agree. I think she's really been knocking it out of the park. Though the one thing I have learned, I am never, ever, 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 ever going to attempt to pronounce Portuguese again. Very sorry. Really wasn't trying to screw it up. I just couldn't wrap my head around it. The UK is now fighting Japan. Oh, Japan declared war on the Dutch East Indies, which just triggered them against the Allies. Well, hello. I don't think that I get to use any of the Allies' bases to help me, but yeah, they're now officially involved in this too. So if I were to ask for, you know, let's say military access and docking rights, they'll give it to me. So here begins our first round of island hopping, and we've already found some of the Japanese submarines, which is going to get a little annoying, but we can deal with some of that. I expect the Japanese are going to have garrisons in quite a few locations, so this isn't necessarily going to be the easiest thing in the world. But at the end of the day, they are just garrisons, and it's not hard for us to immediately turn around and try to launch a few extras, and as long as we do this properly, every like 10 days I can keep sending out small waves. Would it be better if I had like some proper Marines? Absolutely. But I don't. Ooh, Mexico gets to join our faction. Yes, absolutely. This sounds good. And of course that means I'd like to call you into the war against Japan. For democracy! Let's see if we can go ahead and surround some of these Japanese troops around the Philippines. If we can get in here, we should be able to grab these ports. That will stop them from sending reinforcements. The more we stymie them here, the easier it will be to keep them stuck over in this area fighting against China and give them no naval dominance whatsoever. Case in point, that's a small surround over here. It's a small victory, but I'll take it. And a whole other army is ready to go. Good lord. I am not struggling with putting together large armies in this game. We've got so much manpower fielded. And all of these islands have now been seized from the Japanese, so that takes care of this area. Now we just keep pushing to the west. And that should kick the Japanese out of the Philippines. Just in time for them to send some more reinforcements to die. Perfect. Okay. And on goes the next wave. Again, there are going to be some defenses around here, but it's okay. How are the Germans doing against the Soviets? Uh-oh. Yeah, they're pushing pretty hard. Right. I'm a little concerned this is going to turn into the North and South American Union fighting against a German superstate. If they take down the Soviet Union and get access to all their factories... I mean, the US probably can still beat that eventually, but oh man, that's going to be rough. Here's my advanced artillery. So with that done, I feel like now we actually could consider designing up some medium tanks with anticipation that we're going to be fighting pretty heavily in Europe. Might be worth getting some anti-tank just so I can learn about the basic velocity cannons, so we can do some anti-tank tanks. Or is that just too greedy of, oh, you know? Well, 227 days is still kind of a long time. But getting really far ahead in the advanced medium tank chassis is actually a game changer if we can do it. I don't know if it's going to be worth it, but we can try. One major problem, it looks like we are losing naval dominance in some areas closer to Japan. Either because the American Navy pulled back, or because the Japanese have decided to tighten up. Either of which would be smart on their part. Ah, I completely forgot that I wanted to get myself war economy now! Shoot. Alright, let's go ahead and do that now. Maybe I want to move on to extensive conscription as well. I mean, doubling up my manpower, yeah, it wouldn't be a bad idea to get more. Alright, let's go ahead and plan on designing a tank then. I think it's time to go ahead and start thinking about that. I don't remember exactly what my meta usually is. I know it's around this time that you can start doing some pretty crazy stuff. Improved medium cannons are good. I mean, you can do howitzers, but this works. I did get an improvement for the radio, which I love that for the extra breakthrough in defense. I find radios are definitely going to be worth it. And then, I mean, obviously what you'd really want is just like extra armor and stuff, right? Sloped armor, armor skirts, those can all be pretty good. Stabilizers aren't bad just for the breakthrough value, though. Yeah, I think I'll take the sloped armor, and then I wouldn't mind getting a little bit of wet ammunition storage just for the reliability on that one. Christie, torsion bar, do I care as much about the speed? No, I don't think so. I think I'll keep it relatively cheap there. We'll go for the welded armor. And then gasoline or diesel. I don't need the extra reliability, so I think I'll end up sticking with the gasoline engine. Then at that point, it's a question of, like, can you get enough engine power to be at least decently fast? Okay, I take this back. Actually, my reliability is pretty bad. Maybe we do go for the torsion bar. It's not that much more... Yeah, it's not that much more production. It's fine, right? So this ends up being pretty strong. 82 armor. 37 soft attack isn't as good as I might have liked, but it's okay. We're not very fast. What you want to do is get toward like 8 kilometers per hour so you can kind of keep up with mechanized later on. But this is a reasonable enough design. It's expensive, but it's decent. I think I'll take it. Let's go for it. Whoa, Rome just fell. Hold on, what's happening? Ha! the UK successfully led a naval invasion and took Rome. Oh no, Mussolini, that's not gonna go well for you. No, no, no. Look at the UK actually go on their own. Who needs the US, right? I do. I need the US, but apparently not the UK. Okay, so a naval landing around Iwo seems like it's gonna be very, very painful. For reasons I'm sure you all can guess. But if we can successfully do it, it puts us easily within landing range of Japan. Still not going to be easy. Might be worth making a stop into Taiwan to then pop into Okinawa. And then between all three, that gives us a halfway decent opportunity to get in around Nagasaki. Maybe? I don't know. It's still going to be pushing it. The Japanese are going to fight really hard to stop me there. We've also got our 1942 guns. Just as we're hitting 1942, it's only March. So, we're ready to do a bunch of upgrades there. That's going to give all my infantry, of which I have a lot, a pretty big stat boost. And I'm not going to lie, Iwo feels like a really bad invasion right here. I mean, maybe we can reduce the organization to kill one of these, but I'm going to say no. Go ahead and pull back. This is a bad invasion. We don't like it. I do think I want to use some spies to maybe plant a bit of false intelligence in Japan. That should throw them off a bit. Well, in the meantime, we've at least managed to completely contain Japan. So they have no real domination of the ocean here. It's just a matter of this, but they've got so many ships. Like a couple hundred ships in almost each of these zones defending. Like, that's how much they're throwing into this. At the same time, the Americans can put all of their effort into one area as well. They don't have to split their forces, so there's still a chance we manage to break through all that. One thing that is nice about our current situation, though, we have prevented Japan from getting access to a huge percentage of the world's rubber between British Malaya and the Dutch East Indies. That does mean that they're not going to be able to build nearly as many planes as they would have before, not even remotely close. That also means they can't trade it to the Germans. So there is some hope there. By the way, did you manage to keep Rome? No, the British had to pull back to Anzio. Yeah, I don't expect them to live, but it was a good effort. Can we see where the American Navy is, by the way? I see a spattering of ships here and there. Are you all hanging out over here in the West Emperor chain? Yeah, I think that's where the Americans are hanging out. They're still protecting Hawaii. No. Guys, you all need to be helping me on the front. Don't pull back. What are you doing? Well, looks like the invasion of Taiwan has begun over here. I'm guessing we got a very, very brief window of opportunity. Fighting Japan is exactly the same as fighting the UK as the Germans or something. You can watch a lot of different people's videos, but for a brief window, sometimes when they're relocating their fleets, all it takes is a split second when they don't have coverage, and boom, you're allowed to launch your naval invasions. It's weird, but it works. So sometimes you just have to be patient. Anyway, that takes care of that. All right, perfect. So we now have full control here. And we go for another quick little invasion over here. Whoop, there's a bunch of submarines, and they intercepted most of my guys, and my fleet decided to protect only one person instead of all of these. Well, that's weird. All right, we're going to have very low organization and supply when we do eventually land here, but hopefully we do land and manage to take these guys out. Come on, give me Naha. Here we go. Okay. So that takes over this at least, so now we own Okinawa. As far as I'm concerned, that was as painless as it gets. So that leaves Nagasaki, and how do we get here? I mean, the alternative is to go and fight over Japan in China, and then try to take a bunch of their ports so that they start dying from a lack of supply, but I don't think that's going to be worth it. Whoa, I seem to have lost a lot of ships in my navy, though. Yeah, a lot of my big ships are fighting on low strength. No wonder we can't project as much power as we used to. I hate fighting Japan, man. It's just no fun. So this is the naval invasion I want to shoot for around Nagasaki. The idea being to keep everything contained within this one sea tile. That makes it a little bit easier because I can keep all my navy focused in one area to get naval supremacy, whereas they probably will feel tempted to spread across multiple sea zones. This does give me some opportunities, and they don't have a lot of ships here right now. So if I wait until the right moment, and we can land in force around Nagasaki, Japan almost never has very strong garrisons at this stage of the game. All of their land forces are in China. So if we can pull this off, we can go for a really quick cap of Japan and end this war. All right, this is going to be a very risky operation. But they don't have very many ships over here. Can we get in? Can we do something? Oh, nope. They moved the entire fleet over here. Never mind. That's not happening. Dang it. All right, well, we're just going to have to wait for a second, see if they pull some of their ships back. Though it looks like maybe the Americans are sending their own ships too, so I don't know. Whoa, I was not actually, I forgot to turn that off. Shoot. It looks like for a very brief moment, we actually had the naval supremacy just from the American fleet. I forgot to turn these guys off, so they just launched without my fleet supporting them. Frick me, that was a mistake. Whoops. Well, okay. The naval invasion's beginning. Let's see if we can land here in force around Nagasaki. I just need to get some reinforcements in position to just kind of reinforce from a flanking position. If we can do that, we're good. Quickly get up here, control the straits. I need a defensive position, and I need it now. Okay, there's our flankers. Go, go, go. Hit Nagasaki. It's the only port in the immediate area. I need it. Or, if they've got nothing defending the straits, maybe we can push up to Hiroshima. That could be a good, but we have no supply. Oh, nope, they are defending here, too. Okay. This is an opportunity and a half, though. Seriously, this could work. This could be it. I do not want to lose this entire army. I really don't. Oh, wait, we did get Nagasaki. Yes! Okay. That is a massive headache that has just been dealt with. Okay. We now can get in here and do some... I got distracted. I haven't even been touching my national focus. How long has that been there? We actually have a freaking chance now. We can take out Japan fast. Then I can turn my attention to Europe, and the Soviets haven't fallen yet. There's still time. The Japanese are going to have no idea what hit them right now. Seriously, these guys are in so much trouble. They never keep much of a garrison here. They really don't. So if this is not different from how it usually is, that's it. That is GG right there. Come on, we've got Osaka. Good. Okay, now's a good time to go ahead and clean up these front lines because it is atrocious to look at. And I'm going to tell them to be aggressive. If I'm right, we can push almost unopposed. We want to go fast. It's election season, by the way. Oh, right. We could stick with our current guy. I mean, yeah, it's a thing. Or a democratic engineer. Yeah, sir, research speed plus democracy support's not bad. Production efficiency cap. No, probably not. Political power gain. I wish I had picked this person up before because then we could have finished annexing all of our territory. I'm going to go ahead and do it. So that's our new leader. And with more political power gain, I'm hoping we can go ahead and start annexing the rest of this territory. Come on, tell me we can take these guys down quickly. Look at this. They've got like 3 divisions left here in this front line. We're about to push these guys out and kill some of them. There we go. They've got nothing. They've got nothing. Go, go, go before they get reinforcements. In fact, let's go ahead and try to do a quick cut across over here. Surround Tokyo. That way, even if they do get reinforcements, they don't show up anywhere that matters. There we go. All right, that's perfect. We can just get Yokohama. That should take care of their last port. That's going to be a full surround on the capital. They're about to fall. And I'm working on Mechanized Level 2. So pretty soon, a wartime exception for elections. I think elections need to be held as usual. Anyway, yeah, so very soon we actually will get the Advanced Medium Tank a few months ahead of time. So if I can start putting together Mechanized 2 and Advanced 1943 Medium Tanks, we actually could, in theory, put together an army that can rival the Germans. That's a very strong set of tanks. Very strong. Tokyo's down. That's it. I'm so good. All right. We got lucky there, to be honest. Like with so many things, we got lucky there. All right. As far as war score is concerned, it looks like China is taking over an absolute ton. What is going on here? Okay, I can't afford most of this. Tell you what, all I really want is a puppet. Just give me a puppet. It's gonna suck in that we're gonna really have to share a lot of war score with people. China's gonna be pretty peeved. They're gonna want to take a lot of territory, which I don't appreciate, but okay. They're now contesting me. How come China gets all of this? Seriously, though. As far as I'm concerned, China, you are losing your war. You don't deserve all this land. You really don't. And the funny thing is, the AI really just gets beaten over the head and eventually just gives up on a lot of stuff. But, all right, this is all I can take. They're going to take Ainyaly up over here. Can we get some of the Japanese Navy? Because I'd really like some of their ships. Nope, passing is going to get me absolutely nothing. Well, darn. I feel like this Navy is going to go completely to waste, but okay. I mean, I can't afford literally anything else at this point. China gets it all. All right, confirm and exit. Somehow the US didn't get any war score. I don't really know how that happens, but okay. China's now a naval power, I guess. Also, Japan exists. No one was even... China didn't even take everything. This is one thing that really I still don't get about the existing war score system. I could pass, and I wasn't getting a single point. So I couldn't ask for any more of these islands. And then China decided to just do nothing. It's like, just let me have them then. If you don't want them, just let me have them. Oy vey. Whatever, we've got South American Japan. And if we wanted to be really mean, I could just go to war against China right now and say, screw it, I'm taking your stuff. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. I'm going to start setting up all my troops for some naval invasions around Vichy, France. That's going to include Africa, actual southern France, and Southeast Asia. Fight on all those fronts. Get ready to beat the snot out of the Germans. See if we can take down Italy, control the Mediterranean. Do that. Force the Germans to pull back on a huge front. And I think we got a chance at winning World War II. Then we take on the communists. Also, we are annexing Ecuador. There we go. That is a much cleaner border. Very good. Very good action. And that, I think, is where I'm going to end this particular video. All right, I feel like that might end up being a short video. It's always really hard to tell, but, I mean, for the most part, I think we did pretty well for ourselves. That was not half bad. We can always come back and fight against people like Japan again, fight over China, unify all of this, make it look a lot better. But the big threat is much more important to deal with before they get any stronger. So, we'll go ahead and get that set up. Forget this false intelligence. Oh, I was 5 days off. Boo. Anyway, forget all this. Spy on the Germans. We'll take them down. Maybe even set up some resistance contacts in Poland to really screw with them. And then if we can take that, that deals with the main threat of the game. The Soviets are nothing once you take out the Germans and you've got all of the Allies unified in one gigantic super faction. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If so, I would ask you hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe, make sure you hit that notify bell. And I, as always, will see you guys next time.